rebellious son.
If a man have a stubborn and rebellious son. So wait there. So that's what we are. We're stubborn and rebellious to the world, to our family. Why are we so stubborn? We're fixated on Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. The scripture says, talking about they that stood so stiffly for his name. When you stand stiffly for Yahweh Shai, in the eyes of the world, you're stubborn and rebellious. So we're rebels.
Righteous.
We're rebels. So we're criminals, man.
Yeah.
In the eyes of, we're real gangsters.
Yeah.
You want to be a true bad man, a real gangster there?
Yeah.
Come to the house of the Lord, man. Right? Because you know these gangsters, they rebel against the white man.
Yeah.
To be a true zealot, man. Because the zealots, you read about the zealots, man. They were like a group, like the ancient version of the Black Panthers, man. They were like rebels in the eyes of the Roman Empire. They were constantly rebelling against Roman imperialism. So, but they were doing it on a carnal sense. A lot of the disciples, the followers of Yahweh Shai, they were zealots, man. They were constantly looking for relief or release from Roman oppression. So that's us.
Yeah.
But on the spirit, we're rebelling spiritually. Because the scripture said the weapons of our warfare are not carnal. So come on now.
Deuteronomy 21:18 again. If a man have a stubborn and rebellious son, which will not obey the voice of his father or the voice of his mother, and that when they would attach with him, he will not hearken unto them.
So they might beat. They might beat. Come on now.
Then shall his father and his mother lay hold on him and bring him out unto the elders of his city and unto the gate of his place.
Right.
And they shall say unto the elders of the city.
So in the gates of the city. They said so your parents, your mother and your father shall literally lay hold on the son and drag him into the gates of the city. And it says this, Deuteronomy chapter 16 verse 18. Judges and officers shalt thou make thee in all thy gates, which the Lord of Yahweh thy God giveth thee throughout thy tribes. And they shall judge the people with just judgment. Thou shalt not rush judgment. Thou shalt not respect persons, neither take a gift, for a gift doth blind the eyes of the wise and pervert the words of the righteous. For the point of verse 18, judges and officers shall thou make in all thy gates. So that's where their son will be judged. Judges and officers will be dead. Coming up.
And that Deuteronomy 21:20.
And when you look at the word gate, that means like a public place or a marketplace. Like it's a public place, man. And that's usually where the prophets will be. Okay, we're coming up.
Deuteronomy 21:20. And they shall say unto the elder of his city, this our son is stubborn and rebellious. He will not obey our voice, and he is a glutton and a drunkard.
We're drunkards for you, how much we're drinking this wine. And but you know, when you drink wine, because it's you're ready to perish. So really, when you come in this truth, we're making your bodies a living sacrifice. So that's why you're gonna drink this wisdom, man. Because you know we're appointed to death. You know we're appointed them. The scripture even actually tells you that certain brothers have to forfeit their lives. Just to uphold the Yahweh send me how it's at. We're gonna get our heads. Come on. These martyrs, man. You understand? Drink strong drink. Give strong drink to him that is ready to perish. Man. Like I was shy when he was ready to perish. He was praying like a madman. He was praying so much so that blood started coming out of him, man. At his veins. Yeah.
And none of us can say that we've been under that level of stress. Even though the hell we catch much for us, none of us can say, yeah, man, I was so stressed out to where I was praying about it and blood was coming out of my skin.
I'm just saying that as we're drawing nearer to the end, we're going to have to draw nearer to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, man. Okay? I stand with him even more because that's when all them demons is really going to come at us, man. Coming up.
No, there's more. Deuteronomy 21 and 20. And the men of his city shall stone him with stones that he die.
Right.
So shall thou put away evil from among you, and all Israel shall hear and fear. That's an example.
So that was a big deal because the parents would always want the children to take up after them. Like he actually tells you in, I believe it's in Psalms, he said, you're going to teach the law to your children. And their children should go through the generation. So imagine if you had a stubborn and rebellious son. I don't want that. I don't want to learn that. I want to worship Zeus. What do you do with that son? You kill him. Because he's pretty much bringing shame upon the household. One.
And trying to give you 2% to follow other gods.
Exactly. As the scripture says, a little leaven
Leaven
the whole lump. So the parents in that man thing that if we let him continue, he's going to wind up, especially as an older child, he might wind up influencing the other children.
And these children, his own offspring, exactly, he's going to have them follow him in the custody.
And then you're bringing shame on your father's name. And that's why I said that, listen, that leave your father's house, man. Leave your father's house. Now get up from underneath your father, yeah, and do the work. So anyway, let me go back to Matthew chapter 19. Let me start from verse 27. Then answered Peter and said unto him, Behold, we have forsaken all and followed thee. And what shall we have therefore? And Yahweh shall say unto them, Verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory. So what does the word regeneration mean?
Reincarnation.
Yeah. Create again. Create again means that, yeah, reincarnation. So that we're going to be created again. That symbolizes that the prophets and the men that followed after Yahweh, they will always come back.
The spirit of the prophets is subject unto the prophets.
They will always come back and perform the same ministry all over again. That's why it says, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, he also shall sit upon the 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. So you're going to be granted leadership over your own sons and daughters. Because all the other descendants of Jacob, or the 12 tribes, they're going to come forth from our loins, man. So you're going to have leadership for all the rest of the Israelites.
They're going to be the elders.
Right. And you know, it says that everyone that have forsaken houses, or brethren, or sisters, or father, or mother, or wife, or children, or lands, for my name's sake, shall receive an hundredfold and shall inherit everlasting life. For many that are first shall be last, and the last shall be first. Right. This is Matthew chapter 13, verse 44. Again, the kingdom of heaven is like unto treasure hid in a field, the which, when a man has found, he hideth, and for the joy thereof, goeth and selleth all that he hath, and buyeth that field. Hear that? Read that again. It says, again, the kingdom of heaven is like unto treasure hid in a field. Right? It says that this wisdom, man, is treasure that's hidden in this world, man. Because the field represents the world. So this wisdom and knowledge, this gospel, this doctrine is like unto treasure that's hidden in this world. It says, well, gospel, yeah. It's hidden to them that are lost, man. You know? Then it says this, it says, the which, when a man hath found, he hideth, and for joy thereof, goeth and selleth all that he hath, and buyeth that field. Right. So you sell everything that you have, man. You forsake all that you have. You give it all up. You turn your back on it. Because you value this, you see it. That's what the most have to give the eyes out there. Right? But that's faith. That's grace. The most, because that's not normal. You would sacrifice your own mom, your dad, for something that you can't see. You're not normal in the head, man. So for us to be able to do that without having a conscience, we're crazy. we're madmen. But that shows you that the Most High put a certain spirit on us, man. He had imparted to us grace for us to be able to do that. Because if you go to a nigga in the world, you could have never did something like that, man. Yeah. I can't do that to my mom. That's my mom's sick. My mom's sick. You turn your back on your own sickly mom. Then you're the truth, man. Your mom might get sick. Cancer. You still turn your back on them, man. Why? Because of your Yahweh Shai. You might hurt you in the flesh, but you would do it. Because in your mind, you're fully persuaded. Not partially persuaded. Not 2/5 persuaded. But you're fully persuaded that you're going to see them again on the other side.
Precept?
Go.
Matthew chapter 10, verse 37. He that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me, and he that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. And he that taketh not his cross and followeth after me is not worthy of me.
Stop reading that again.
Matthew 10 and 37. He that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me.
See, coming now.
And he that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me.
If you love son or daughter more than Yahweh Shai, because you're going to love them to a degree. You're going to love them.
Yeah.
But you can't prioritize them over Yahweh Shai. So you have the love that you have for Yahweh Shai. No. She's rich, you know. I've heard it. Some of the beggars have told me that she's rich.
She's manifested out of nowhere.
What the fuck? You know? So the love that you have for Yahweh Shai has to precede the love that you have for your family. Because Yahweh Shai is that living example. He rejected his own mother for his disciples. He said, man, they're my mother. You know why? Because we're in the fear of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Your family is not in they don't fear the judgment of the Lord, man.
That's why they still feel like a business.
You gotta think about a man that don't fear Most High.
That's a fool, man.
A man or a woman that don't fear the Most High, that man will betray you. That man, because they don't fear judgment. You can't trust them. They don't have boundaries. They don't know the line that they're not supposed to cross. A man of the Lord, the scripture says he fears always.
Yeah.
And in the day of sinning, he will beware of offense. So you're more likely to trust a man of the Lord because he knows that if he does you dirty, you know, he going
Most likely going to jack
to
his ass
put a
up.
millstone around his neck
Yeah.
and cast him into the depths of the sea. If he offends with the Lord, he will. You know what I mean? No, bring up.
This is Philippians 3, starting at verse 7.
Judgment. See, off the back.
Lucky it was an RIP. It's wide set, man.
Yeah.
Right, Philippians 3 and verse 7. But what things were gained to me, I counted loss for Hamashiach. Yea, doubtless I count all things but loss for the excellency of the knowledge of Hamashiach Yahushai, my Lord, for whom I have suffered the loss of all things, and I do count them but dung, that I may win Hamashiach.
Stop reading that against Lord.
Right, this is Philippians 3, starting at verse 7 again. But those things which are gained to me, I counted loss for Hamashiach.
And those things that were gained to me, I counted them for loss for Yahweh Hashem Yahweh. The things that are gained to us, like your family, so forth and so on, man, your loved ones, now you count that as a loss. Coming up.
Yea, doubtless I count all things but loss for the excellency of the knowledge of Hamashiach Yahushai, my Lord.
Because at the end of the day, you know that the Most High gave you your family.
Is it like a religious debate?
What?
Are you having like a religious debate?
No.
Fair enough.
So, you know, read on.
Yea, doubtless I count all things but loss for the excellency of the knowledge of Hamashiach Yahushai, my Lord, for whom I have suffered the loss of all things.
I've suffered the loss of all things.
And I do count them but dung, that I may win Hamashiach.
If you can win Yahweh Shai, that's the main thing. You want to win Yahweh Shai. Because when Yahweh Shai does appear, when he reveals himself from the heavens, man, you want to win him, man.
Counted worthy.
Yeah. Right? And when that day comes and you win Yahweh Shai, it was worth it.
It was, yeah, it will be, it will bring.
The sacrifice that we made was worth it. But then you have them that were ashamed. You know, scripture, he that be ashamed of me
I shall be ashamed.
shall be ashamed. When it says, the Lord will be ashamed of him. Right?
Right, this is no, that's not it. I think it's Luke 9:26. Oh, for water. Yeah, I just found it. Yeah, for water for that. Luke 9:26. For whosoever shall be ashamed of me and of my words,
Whosoever shall be ashamed of me and my words, come on.
of him shall the Son of Man be ashamed,
Of him shall the Son of Man be ashamed. Come on.
when he shall come in his own glory and in his Father's and of the holy angels.
When you go out, the Most High sends his Son to visit this earth. You be ashamed of this doctrine, of this gospel. You know, certain of our people that walk past and they have this scornful look on their face. Like, we're crazy to be out here. The scriptures talk about the foolishness of preaching. You're down fool.
Shalom. Shalom.
You made it. You made it.
You made it finally. I was thinking to myself because you said you was on your way.
Yeah.
I was like, let me just make it a 10, bro. You know? No. You can pick it up, can the city said over there.
Yeah.
But you rocking with it, right? Okay, cool. Okay, come.
I might know it. Yeah. So who's reading?
I was reading.
Seven contradictions.
Right.
7. What the main one is pride. Proud. I'm proud.
Right, Luke 9:26. For whosoever shall be ashamed of me and of my words, of him shall the Son of Man be ashamed when he shall come in his own glory and in his Father's and of the holy angels.
You know when you're ashamed of somebody? You ever been ashamed of someone, man?
Yeah, that guy let me down.
You know what I mean? You ever had that person in your life that you was just ashamed of them? So much so that you didn't want to look at them, man.
Can't.
You know what I'm saying? It's just embarrassing to be around them. You know what I mean? So that's it. You think that the white man has to stay for this?
I think
You got like a little pimping.
everyone is good. And as long as you chase a God outside of yourself, the dark wins all the time. What they don't want you to know, in the middle of your chest, you got a spirit, which is a fragment of source energy. God doesn't have anything to do with religion. You got, but you're not aware of it. If you go from mind into the heart, it's where resides all your divine. That one was created by man. That one, it's brainwash. Sorry. It's only one goal. It's you. Go within, and you got everything. That's what I do. Bring the mind to the heart. In your heart, there is no shame. There is no I don't want you want to go to your heart, to your mind, that one, all the shit religion, it's all about aliens. Every 10 minutes, people get entities, and then that's corrupt. We kill each other. Yeah, man. As long as you see God outside, the dark wins always.
Yeah.
Maybe we should just touch hands when that guy is united us.
Yeah.
One day.
You've been converted.
That lost soul. That guy was so lost in the source, he didn't even know where he was.
So there's no point going back and forth with him. See, you only go back and forth with a guy, and he might have a little bit of truth in him.
Yeah.
Then you might work on that. If you can see a man totally gone,
No foundation to
just
build on.
forget him, man. Like,
You've got to the religions by the dad.
so, go back to this whole, being ashamed. You're not worthy, man. Because you didn't stand for Yahweh Shah. And Yahweh Shah was watching that.
Yeah.
He looked at the times when you were too afraid to stand up against your family for him. He was watching the time where you were too afraid to speak out against, speak in the street, man.
Khan, that's right.
Also, I was watching that time where you was making excuses. You come to a nigga making excuses.
Yeah.
And I can't do that, though. I have to go. Mom will keep me out of the house, so making all that's being recorded, man. It shows what? That you're ashamed. You don't want to look like a fool. The scripture says, he that comes from the Most High, let him show that he is a fool. but that's not Corinthians.
Ooh.
That he made me wise. This on 1 Corinthians 3:18. Let no man deceive himself. If any man among you seemeth to be wise in this world, let him become a fool, that he may be wise, man. You know, if you truly want to be wise, man, you gotta take up this ministry of foolishness, that you may be wise, man. Right? If any man seems to be wise in this world, let him become a fool, that he may be wise. Okay? Because in the eyes of the world, we're fools. And then in the eyes of the world, man, you know, you're crazy, man. You gave up your family for something that you don't even see. you deserve to be on drugs, man, medication, right? Come on, you got something.
Yeah, Baba Kashar, yeah. Just 3 verses. Acts 5, starting at verse 40. And when they had agreed, and when they had called the apostles and beaten them, they commanded that they should not speak in the name of Yahushua and let them go. And they departed from the presence of the council, rejoicing that they were counted worthy to suffer shame for his name. And daily in the temple and in every house they ceased not to teach and preach Yahushua the Mashiach.
That's beautiful.
So the apostles rejoiced that they were counted worthy to suffer shame for Yahushua's name. We should do the same.
You know, but that's real. Because I remember times when me and the brother got arrested, man. And then when you get arrested, that's when shit gets real. Like, you experience fear, man. You might get put in prison. And that's when you're going to start questioning the faith, man. When shit gets real. It's okay to put on a garment and come out here and profess your faith. But when you actually when they put you in the handcuffs and they put you in the back of that van,
Yeah.
and then they drive you to the station, and they start taking your fingerprints, man.
Yeah, your fingerprints, empty your pockets.
They empty your pockets.
All of that stuff.
And they stick you in a cell.
Yeah.
You in there for like 1 day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You start to first you get shook when you're at the back of that van.
Yeah.
You're like, shit is now getting real.
Now when they take out the cuffs, that's when they get shit. Yes.
And then when you're staying in that cell, boy, that's when you're gonna start praying. That's what I start doing. When I'm put in that cell, I start praying. Because you ain't got nothing. You ain't got fucking,
TV or nothing.
TV and your little phone. They take everything away from you. That's when you gotta pray.
It's just you and the Lord.
Yeah.
And then the next day they take you out, and then they say what you're being charged with.
Yeah.
They tell you what you're being charged with. You're being charged with
Treason. Treason.
You're basically
Treason, yeah.
You're being charged with treason. You're offending the members of public. You're inspiring fear, or
You're speaking hate speech.
hate speech.
Putting cause an alarm of distress.
Thank you. That's it. Alarm of distress.
I experience alarm and distress every fucking day, man. And what?
And then what do? They put you in a little interrogation room.
Yeah.
And then there's probably 2 officers there. Yeah. And then they tell you they put the recording button on.
You get shook when they do that. We're now gonna record 2 tapes, one for our evidence and one for the court, if it goes there.
Yeah. But that's when shit gets real. When you go through all of that. Then by and by after time, then the Lord makes it where the charges get dropped. And the 2 individuals, they know it's not a big fucking deal. And they probably know what we said was true.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like when you was getting arrested, right? Even the solicitor who came through with me. He was like, "Oh, what's up? School's finished, it's done." He was like very excited, man.
Yeah. So, a lot of the time, the victims, the so-called victims, they back down when they don't turn up to court, some shit like that, man.
Charges get dropped.
Mm-hmm. So I said that's all persecution. For Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai's name, man. And you gotta stand stiffly. Because even in that, Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, they're watching that. That's all being recorded, how you handle yourself. Okay? So it's always a test of endurance that we're being put through. And the soldier, as soon as they set you on that mission, you're on that mission. So we're on a mission right now. Okay? Until Yahweh Shai comes, we're on a mission. And we have to pass that. Coming up.
This is Hebrews 6 and verse 10, because you've got to remember that we're not dealing with men. Like, for example, man can be your friend today and turn his back on you and be enemy tomorrow. Yahweh and Yahweh Shai don't deal like that. So this is Hebrews 6 and 10. For God is not unrighteous to forget your work and labor of love, which you have showed towards his name, in that you have ministered to the saints and do minister. So all those situations that the elder was describing there about suffering persecutions for the name of the Lord, the Most High sees that, and Yahweh Shai sees that, and they remember that. As long as you continue, Lord will now step up to defend you when the time comes. That's all I've got to say.
Precept.
Yeah, go bring it up.
This is 2 Corinthians 11 and 25. Thrice was I beaten with rods, once was I stoned, thrice I suffered shipwreck, a night and a day have I been in the deep, in journeyings often, in perils of water, in perils of robbers, in perils by my own countrymen, in perils by the heathen, in perils in the city, in perils in the wilderness, in perils in the sea, in perils amongst false brethren, in weariness and painfulness, in watchings often, in hunger and thirst, in fastings often, in cold and darkness. Besides those things that are without, that which cometh upon me daily, the care of all the church.
That's the shit that brother Paul, Apostle Paul, our ancestor Paul, he had to go through. I read that last part.
And it says, I'll start verse 27, in weariness and painfulness, in watchings often, in hunger and thirst, in fastings often, in cold and nakedness, besides those things that are without, that which cometh upon me daily, the care of all the churches.
And that was the main thing. That's why you're struggling for the care of all the brothers in the different churches, man. That's why we really labor. When we come out here, you know, it's for the edification of the brothers, them, right? Or their encouragement, right? Their maintenance, for their endurance. That's a lot of the time. We don't stand out here for ourselves to save ourselves. It's for the edification of brothers, man. That's right. Their spiritual development, and for the salvation of brothers that haven't yet even learned about this truth, and the few of them sisters out there. You know what I mean? So every time we stand out here, this ain't just for us. It's for the fellowship of the church, man, in itself.
And he said, besides all those things that he mentioned, all the perils, he had the care of the church. That means like the scripture says, when you come to serve the Lord, set thy heart for temptation. Endure hardness as a good soldier. Because there's guys that they'll come, and then the smallest inconvenience, they're gone. But Paul had to go through all of that and still care for the brother.
Get that? That's in 2 Timothy. 2 Timothy.
Back of what Caleb was saying about these people are mad, they're crazy. Yeah, and to back up what you're saying, that at that time, you didn't know who is who. Second Ezra 16, verse 71. They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but will spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. For they shall be waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. Then shall they be known whom are my chosen, and they shall be tried in the gold in the fire. As you said earlier before, you have to go through these things, go to prison. That's all a part of trial and testing.
That's in Revelations 2 and 10. So I'll cast some of you into prison.
Then shall they be known whom are my chosen, and then they shall be tried as gold in a fire. Oh, hear, O ye, beloved, saith the Lord. Behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same.
And it takes faith to believe even that. Because the times that we're coming to, Esau's gonna move hard, man. Esau wants to consolidate his power. So he's gonna move hard on Jake. Because there's a TikTok clip where the Edomites had a little council, and they said they want to wipe out a certain amount of billion people on the face of the earth, and then they want to start in Africa.
Yeah, I remember that one, yeah.
Remember that little clip? They want to start in Africa. And they said, oh, they're nothing, they're worthless, you know. So showing their agenda to wipe our people out, right? And that's the time of what Jacob's trouble. And the scripture is talking about. And at the same time, it's a mixture of things that Esau wants to put into effect. He also wants to get rid of the Bible. Anybody that believes in any beliefs like Islam, Tuesday preppers. He wants to get rid of militia groups. He wants to get rid of Christians. And there's also Black Hebrew Israelites. It's also on the list. They want to get rid of us. So Esau has us all listed down, man. You know they're going to come for us. No, they got people listed that haven't taken the vaccine thing. They'll send you like messages every now and then saying, oh, our records show that you haven't received your, you know what. So, you know, they're going to come for the people that haven't taken it in time to come. They're going to incarcerate you. They'll say you're on strip to the public. And shit's going to get real. Right? And even then, you have to maintain your faith. Just as Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, shit got real. When death was put at them. And they were in the fire. They were in the down oven, man. They were praising the whole boss, even in the fire. That's real faith, man. That's right. Yeah. That's what it says. For the things that are written aforetime are written for our learning, man. That through patience and comfort of the scriptures, we might have hope. Remember Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego? Yeah, they ain't in the fire to rot it, man.
And I you might be saying that. Even down to the 7 sons.
Yeah.
You know? And they had to go. They had to wait, you know, one by one. You know, one they stripped the feet off the head. Imagine the other brothers are watching that. You know, it's going to come to them next. Because when you read that scripture, it says, and they went to this soul, and the third one, and the fourth one. So they're watching everything. It just went to the mountain, and they're waiting for the. You know what I mean? They're waiting. And they're still into this.
They actually witnessed that. This is This is the song of the 3 holy children. Verse 64. But it's 1 chapter long. O ye spirits and souls of the righteous, bless ye Yahweh, praise and exalt him above all forever. O ye holy and humble men of heart, bless ye Yahweh, Hashem Yahweh, praise and exalt him above all forever. O Ananias, Azarias, and Misael, the Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, bless ye Yahweh, Hashem Yahweh, praise and exalt him above all forever. For he hath delivered us from hell and saved us from the hand of death and delivered us out of the midst of the furnace and burning flame, even out of the midst of the fire have he delivered us. Oh, give thanks to Yahweh, because he is gracious, for his mercy endureth forever.
I just saw on the scripture, because you read something in there, right, that kind of sparkled, right? that we're going to be delivered from the hands of death. That's what's coming. Like what happened to them people living in Turkey? 100,000 motherfuckers died. You understand? Like,
I think they're still gathering.
Yeah, they're still gathering. But I think that's the real number though. Because Sky News, they're saying, okay, we found 1,000 and it's going up. But I think that's the real figure though. But the point is that the spirit of death is coming. So when the spirit of death comes, now some of us are gonna die. That's official because I remember talking the video that most of us may have to die.
Of course.
But even through our death, we're gonna be delivered. And the ones that remain alive are gonna be delivered. You know? So
Teresa?
Yeah,
what's up? This is prayer of Azariah 1 and 26. But the angel of the Lord came down into the oven together.
Where's that?
Prayer of Azariah.
Where's this? What piece of
Prayer of Azariah. You know, online they give it a different name. It's yeah, so you know, because of the canon online, there's certain books in Daniel that they have to put it on their different name.
Okay.
Yeah, I get it.
what is she reading now?
Huh?
What is she reading now?
Or the Song of the Three Holy Children.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And it's the same book. And it says, and in the midst of the furnace, as it had been a moist, whistling wind, so that the fire touched them not at all, neither hurt nor troubled them. And that's the point.
That's amazing, man. You know, they even maintain their faith, even out in the midst of the fire furnace. Okay? Because that's the they kept their integrity. That's how you know you always had integrity. When the fire is put to you. Because if the fire gets put to you and you fall out, that shows that you never really had it to begin with. It was just a mirage. It was just an illusion. It wasn't real.
Let me qualify that.
It was a true integrity that you had. You wasn't really a man of the Lord. That's what it says. Then in that day shall it be known from my chosen. Exactly. You know what I mean?
They just qualify that, as I was saying to the elder, it's the Song of the Three Holy Children. But online, when you click on certain links, the Catholics have a different name for that book. But it's the Song of the Three Holy Children.
Okay. All right.
Azariah, but it's the Song of the Three Holy Children.
You want to read something?
That's what I was reading.
What did you read? Read it again.
So the Song of the Three Holy Children, chapter 1, verse 27, because the elder speaking about being in the fire and going through the trials. But the point is the Lord can, some may have to die, but the Lord can have it where you don't feel the pain, or you can not die. And it says in chapter 1, verse 27, and made the midst of the furnace as it had been a moist, whistling wind, so that the fire touched them not at all, neither hurt nor troubled them.
Yeah.
So they were in the midst of the fire, and they were feeling like a cool breeze.
Wow. Yeah, because that's that angel that came down and smoked the fire. Because when you read the Song of the Three Holy Children, in verse 23, and the king's servants that put them in ceased not to make the oven hot with rosin, pitch, towel, and small wood. So they kept trying to make it hot. They were trying to make it. They were putting everything that they could into that furnace, man.
Turn it up!
So that the flame streamed forth above the furnace 49 cubits, and it passed through and burned those Chaldeans and found above the furnace. But the angel of the Lord came down into the oven together with Azarias and his fellows, and smote the flame of the fire out of the oven, and made the midst of the furnace as it had been a moist, whistling wind. Hear that? He said, so that the fire touched them not at all, neither hurt nor troubled them. Then the three as out of one mouth praised, glorified, and blessed the Most High in the furnace, saying, Blessed art thou, O Yahweh, God of our fathers, and to be praised and exalted above all forever. And it goes on and on, man.
And that fourth, and that fourth angel was Yahweh Shai.
Exactly. Yeah.
In Daniel in the Bible it says the king saw and said, "One like unto the Son of Man."
Whoa.
He identified the fourth man, saying that's like the Son of Man.
Where's it? It's Daniel, isn't it?
In Daniel, I'll
Yeah,
get
get
it.
that. The edification. Get that.
All right.
Because that's like in our message of out of the seven churches.
Yeah, I've got
One
it
like
here.
unto the Son of Man. This is the thing. And that shows you that the elected is always going to be protected by Yahweh Shai. Right? But then again, you also have to consider the fact that certain brothers might have to be sacrificed. Like, what? You know what I mean? So you know, it could go both ways, man. But either way, you will go out with your guns blazing. Your spiritual guns blazing. Whatever happens, happens. You know what I mean? Come on now.
This is the book of Daniel, chapter 3 and 23. And these three men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, fell down bound in the midst of the burning fiery furnace.
Well, hold on. What verse is this? What chapter?
Daniel 3 and 20. On down.
Daniel chapter 3.
From verse 23.
Verse 23. Yeah, go on.
So I read verse 23 again. And these three men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, fell down bound in the midst of the burning fiery furnace.
Right.
Then Nebuchadnezzar, the king, was astonished and rose up in haste and spake and said unto his counselors, Did not we cast three men bound into the midst of the fire? They answered and said unto the king, True, O king. He answered and said, Lo, I see four men loose, walking in the midst of the fire, and they have no hurt, and the form of the fourth is like the Son of God.
See that? And the fourth that was in the cloud, back into the Son of the Most High. What verse is that one?
Verse 25.
Yeah, verse 25. He said, Answered said, Lo, I see four men loose, walking in the midst of the fire. That's scary, man.
Yeah.
That's something out of a horror movie. You see a big cauldron, and there's four men that standing there. It's like just walking around in the fire. That's something out of a horror movie, man. You know what I'm saying? That's like the undead or something like that. Like nothing can harm us. That's what it says, touch not my anointed and do my prophets no harm. Right? That's in Psalm somewhere. But it says, it said, answered and said, Lo, I see four men loose, walking in the midst of the fire, and they have no hurt. And the form of the fourth is like the Son of the Most High. That's how it's done. See that? That goes into is ever two or three gathered in my name. There I am in the middle.
It's the thing of it, you gotta do this one. When you read verse 27, and it says, and Daniel 3 and 27, and the princes, governors, and captains, and king's counselors, being gathered together, saw these men upon whose bodies the fire had no power, meaning they weren't burnt, nor was a hair of their head singed, neither were their coats changed, nor even had the smell of fire passed onto them. So there was no trace of them being around fire. They're in the fire, but their clothes never smelled like smoke. Their hairs weren't singed, and their bodies weren't burned.
Wow.
If you even go further, the people that turned up the fire, they got burned.
They got burned.
Yes. So the Chaldeans, they got burned because Yahweh Shah was with us. We didn't taste of them. Because we defied death. We literally defied death, man. We overcame death. We should have died. But because of our side, we literally overcame death at that point through our faith. See, that's that faith. That's what connects us to the Most High, is our faith. And once you have that faith, that's the immortality right there. The Most High has to be defeated.
And the faith is that, because the house is in the midst of us, and it's faith. We have faith.
Yeah, because all of this that we're reading about the three holy children, it's a foretelling of the whole election. All right, this is the prophecy in Isaiah 24 and 15. Wherefore glorify ye the Lord in the fires, even the name of the Lord power of Israel in the isles of the sea. So in the chariots, we're going to be just above the fires in the heavens, looking down, praising the Lord.
Yeah. So read that part again.
Isaiah chapter 24 and 15. Wherefore glorify the Lord Jehovah in the fires,
Right.
even the name of the Lord power of Israel in the isles of the sea.
That's beautiful, man. You know what I'm saying? But that's true integrity. Even if it is your portion to die as a 2/3. Man, don't call upon your house on your shine. Die with your integrity. Even if you fell out the truth. That's for you guys that fell out the truth, man. Even if you did fall out the truth, maintain your integrity to the end, man. If it is, the Most High still giving you your portion of the spirit, man. To however little it is. Use that, man. Use that little pepper grain of grace, man. The Most High don't give. Use the tools. Do it for yourself. Save yourself, nigga. Right? Call upon your house and your side for your salvation, man. It says Psalms 34. It says, verse 18, Yahweh is nigh unto them that of a broken heart, and saving such as be of a contrite spirit. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but Yahweh delivereth him out of them all.
That's our faith creator.
It says, many are the afflictions of the righteous, but Yahweh delivereth them out of them all. You hear that? And that's a beautiful. See, that's power, man. That's power. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, man. But Yahweh delivereth them out of them all, man. You hear that? See, that's how we have to set our confidence in Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shah. As I was saying before, as the brother was saying, you were saying about how to praise the Lord in the fires, man. That's how Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, that was pretty much symbolic for our nation as a whole, man. And really for the elect. They pretty much resemble the elect. That through the trouble that we go through, we have to endure with this faith, man. Holding fast. It's been saying in Revelation 2, it says, that which you have already, hold fast till I come. 2:24-25. Holding it fast, man. That no man take your crown. But what I was gonna say is that Egypt, do you know that Egypt is described as the iron furnace? But back then, all our people got delivered from that iron furnace. You brothers know this. Right? This is on Deuteronomy. This is Deuteronomy chapter 4 verse 20. but the Lord have taken you and brought you forth out of the iron furnace, even out of Egypt, to be a people, to be unto him a people of inheritance, as you are this day. You hear that? So the Most High brought us out of the iron furnace. So back then, all our people were delivered from Egypt, man. That was the first covenant. But now, you go into what's happening right now, the Most High is only going to deliver his elect from the north country. I think that's in Jeremiah. I forget.
You talking about the one in 16 or 14?
You can get that one. You didn't get this one here, but this one says it too. But I know it's said twice in Jeremiah. This is a prophet Jeremiah, chapter 23. In fact, let me start with verse 7. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, that they shall no more say, Yahweh liveth, which brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. Or that was the iron furnace. And we're in the iron furnace right now. What's modern day Egypt is what Babylon the Great. Alright? But out of this Egypt, who's going to be brought out of this furnace, iron furnace? Yeah, man. So it says, there's no more going to be said that Israel out of the land of Egypt. Verse 8, but the Lord liveth, was brought up, and which led the seed of the house of Israel out of what? The north country. And from all countries, whither I had driven them, and they shall dwell in their own land.
So which one is that? That's 23, isn't it?
Yeah, 23.
Oh, so okay. So it's two of them. You got 16, you got that one.
You got 16.
No, I was somewhere else.
You got somewhere else.
Yeah. But this was one in 16 and 14. So it sounds like
Jeremiah 16.
yeah, verse 42. It's about the same thing. So.
Yeah, it is.
Well, you was there already.
There's two of them.
Oh yeah.
This is basically reiterating. Jeremiah 16 and 14. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, that it shall no more be said, the Lord liveth that brought the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. But the Lord liveth that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north, and from all the lands whither he had driven them, and I will bring them again into their own land that I gave unto their fathers. So, it's the same prophecy. Spoken by the same prophet, man. Right? And it said we're gonna come up out of what's that North Country? America. North Country is North America. That's the main land of our captivity. Because
Judah and Israel were pressed together.
Exactly. Well, because if you look at it, the majority of the slaves was actually taken, according to the documentation, the majority of the slaves was taken to Brazil.
Mm-hmm.
To Brazil, man. And actually, you had a large population of our people in Argentina.
Yes, we did, yeah.
Because I sent the information about that to the group chat. There was a big population of our people in Argentina. But in
someone that won Salah, someone that won.
Yeah. She looked good, man. She looked good.
I was looking through the makeup because she had too much makeup on. I noticed.
Yeah.
I looked through the makeup and I was like, it's natural.
But what happened in the whole genocide of Argentina is that I forget the name of the guy. I think he was like the president or over. Yeah. So anyway, he was like the ruler over Argentina during like the 1800s. And what happened was he started rounding up Jake, man, the so-called the Southern Kingdom, the so-called blacks in Argentina, there's a big population of our people. He started rounding them up and putting them in prison and start putting them on the front line of battle in a war that he knew that they couldn't win, just to wipe them all out. Yeah, that's what he did. You actually look into that. And that's what I'm saying. They don't teach you about this stuff. There's all manner of genocides that happen to our people. You don't know about it. You know what I'm saying? But the whole point was that pretty much the whole land of America, right? North America, Southern America, the islands, we were taken as slaves, as captives there, man. But the main land of our captivity was the North Country, as the scripture said, man. That's Babylon the Great, right? And that's the same land that's going to be wiped off the face of the earth. That's right. That's the same land that's going to go to war with Russia, man. Yeah? You see, that's modern day Sodom and Gomorrah. Because that's where the White House is. DC. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's Babylon the Great. That's the land of opportunity. The land of
the American dream.
Money grows on trees. And the streets are paved with gold. People want to go to the North Country, not the South Country, man. Yeah. Not Southern America. Because you argue that but more of our people went there as slaves. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but South America, that's not the land of opportunity. Obviously, you got a lot of Jakes that's going there now because they're trying to find, traditional wives and shit, man. Yes. Passport bros, man. Call the passport bros. They're going to like Brazil and Cuba and Thailand, looking for traditional women, man. But
if you know it's funny, the women are calling for cheap to come over there.
Yeah, there's TikTok videos of that. They're saying, yeah, we love black men. And apparently the so-called sisters in the North Country, man, they're hating on that.
Yeah, they're
hating on that, man.
What the fuck is jealous bitches?
Why are you hating for?
You want to expect? They can't even carry themselves right, but then when you want to check for other women, they got a problem with it. But even when you check for them, they gotta shoot that. So I mean, like, bro, if you don't like me, then we can expect you. Yeah, I gotta spread my seat somewhere.
Exactly. But you know what they say? That's the worst type of person. Someone that don't like you, yeah. But you don't want at that same time you don't want to see you with anybody else. Yeah. That's the worst. You don't even like me. So what do you care if I'm?
Yeah.
That's part of the curses, man. That the Most High put between us. But all that's gonna get fixed up in the kingdom. But that's why the majority of our people gotta die. See, because the North Country, that's the iron furnace, right? The majority of our people, they're gonna get burned up in the fire. Right. They're gonna be in the fire, and they're just gonna get burned up. But the elect, they're gonna make it out. They're gonna make it out of the fire. That's why I said 2 parts shall be cut off and die. Because they're in Egypt, but they don't have the faith, man. And that's why it says it's impossible to please him. Because he didn't have the faith. When Yahweh shall come, shall there yet be faith on earth, man?
Isaiah 31, to talk about salvation of the elect. Isaiah 31 and verse 5, as birds flying, so will Yahweh of hosts defend Jerusalem, right. And defending also, he will deliver it, and passing over, he will preserve it. Yeah, basically, that's our salvation containing the wisdom of Solomon's final point. It's going to be a very strange thing. And I think it's going to be out of this world what type of salvation we're going to receive. Now, when we speak these things, people look at us like we're crazy. You believe in UFOs and shit like that? Yeah, that's what the scripture says.
I don't want to change topic a little bit, but they were saying that they actually shot down a UFO spaceship.
That's gone.
I was gonna put it on the group chat, but I said that's some bullshit. Come on, our brothers know that. That's not crap. Even I looked in the comment section on the TikTok video, and even niggas in the world, they're like, Where's the footage of this crashed spaceship? Where's the footage of?
Yeah.
There's no footage of any crashed spaceship. It's not real. Not true.
It's like when they said they killed Osama bin Laden and dumped his ass in the sea. Where's the proof?
Where's the proof of that? You know what I mean?
The reason why they put that out there is to distract you.
Yeah.
From other things is going on. Because what really happened was there was some chemicals. It's like surrounding certain waters. I think it's to do with the water treatment pipeline. They didn't want people looking into that. Something to that equivalent. I mean, they distract you with some bullshit. Oh yeah, they shot at you in 4.
Actually, they said they shot down 4. I think they said they shot down 4.
You believe in that? It's America. You're familiar with Russia and America. Yeah, you don't like them.
what you're talking about. I'm not a scientist. But I'm not sure what
That's the future of the world. According to the Bible.
Yes, I don't want to give depression, you know.
Yeah,
Because
right.
America is very populated country.
Yeah, it's a popular country. She says she doesn't want to get into depression because America's a popular country.
Highly populated. To their head, she's realizing a lot of people are going to die if that comes to pass.
That goes back to the Bible. It's foolish stuff preaching. Like, you know, see that and it looks very disturbing, very scary.
Yeah.
But to us now, we hasten for this stuff. We wish it happens now. Like, you know what I mean?
So that makes this
Yeah,
very sadistic. Right?
Yeah. But that's the prophets. What does it say in Deuteronomy 28? No, Jeremiah 28.
the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence.
Exactly. So the prophets always spoke evil, man. That's what they said. They hate him that rebuke him in the gate. Right? 'Cause we're out here to condemn the world, man.
Right.
That's what it says. We're rebels. That's what it says. If you have a rebellious son, what does it say? It says if you have
you're supposed to take it to the gate
and stone him. So pretty much we're the prophets, man. We're rebels, right? So we're rebelling against the state. We're the enemies of the state, man.
Come on. Precept.
But this is Isaiah 13. Excuse me, verse 4. The noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as of a great people. A tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together. The Lord of hosts must with the host of the battle. Now, what do you call that? What do you call a multitude of nations gathered together? That's a world war. When you see them gathered together for battle, that's called a world war. You see more than 2 nations gathered together for battle and other nations involved, that's a world war. So it says, they come from a far country, from the end of heaven, even the Lord and the weapons of his indignation to destroy the whole land.
I've done my civil job listening to these guys, you know, when they're preaching that, and they go by the story books and that. I'm interested. I want to bring it up through, you know, I want to know, like, it's like Drizzy's got
This is Acts chapter 17, and I'll start from verse 5, and it says, but the Jews, which believed not, moved with envy, took unto them certain lewd fellows of the baser sort, and gathered a company, and set all the city in an uproar, and assaulted the house of Jason, and sought to bring them out to the people. This is the point. In verse 6, and when they found them not, they drew Jason and certain brethren unto the rulers of the city, crying, these that have turned the world upside down are come hither also.
Wow. So they said, the apostles and the followers of Hamashai, you came up here to call tumults, man. Our peoples. Right? We didn't come to bring peace.
They come to turn the world upside down.
To turn it all upside down. You know what I mean? Everything that in the eyes of the world is right way up. We're here to turn the other way around, man. Say, you people got it wrong. America's going to get destroyed. Your hopes and dreams is going to get vanquished in 1 hour. At least 2 days. You know? And it said, the weapons, let me read, it says, verse 5, Isaiah 13:5, they come from a far country, from the end of heaven, even the Lord, and the weapons of his indignation to destroy the whole land. So what's that talking about? The ICBMs, man. Right? The intercontinental ballistic missiles. Yo, you got certain missiles that actually have names, man, like Satan 2, Satan 1, Satan 2. You got one called Poseidon. That's that Russian one in the submarine. And the submarines, they got ICBMs too, man.
Yeah.
And they said that Poseidon can literally destroy the whole of the UK.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Just imagine that. That's how destructive it is.
The UK is just an island. Yeah, all they gotta do is
I saw an article one time that said the radiation from the missile, it would get from Scotland to Southampton in 15 minutes.
wow.
Whoa.
That's the whole map. Scotland at the top, all the way Southampton at the bottom.
That's fast, man.
In 15 minutes.
Well, that fits the scripture in 1 hour. In 1 hour. Yeah. That's why it comes to be the perfect week.
Wow.
I'm like, hold on.
Wow.
We used to get the coach from here to Scotland. That would take probably like what, 18 hours?
Yeah, 15 hours, 18 hours. On the coach, yeah.
Wow. That means, yeah, that a train can't even outrun the you took me trying to take a train.
This is Exodus 15, starting at verse 3. Yahweh is a man of war. Yahweh is his name. Pharaoh's chariots and his host have he cast into the sea.
Wow.
His chosen captains are also drowned in the Red Sea.
Wow.
The depths have covered them. They sank to the bottom as a stone. By right hand, O Yahweh, is become glorious in power. Who's the right hand of the Lord?
That's Yahweh Shai.
Yeah. By right hand, O Lord Yahweh, have dashed in pieces the enemy. So that's what Yahweh is going to do the second time he returns, man. In the second Exodus, he's going to destroy Pharaoh and his chariots again. So now, the modern day Pharaoh and his chariots, the Americans, Babylon the Great, they're all going to be dashed to pieces, man.
Yeah. But you see, it says the Lord is a man of war. It showed that the ICBM was actually the Most High's invention. He invented the missile.
He wasted for the
This whole Third World War, the Most High invented the tank, he invented the submarine, the helicopters. That was the Most High invented that.
Yeah, but what was his name? Was it Einstein that said when he got the chemical equation, he got it in a drink?
Oh, it's
for nuclear fission war.
Let me get that. Hold on. This Amos chapter 4, verse 13. For lo, he that formeth the mountains and createth the wind and declareth unto man what is his thought, that maketh the morning darkness and treadeth upon the high places of the earth, the Lord, the God of hosts, is his name. Yeah, so the Most High declareth unto man his thoughts, man. So going back to what you're saying, was it Einstein?
Yeah.
He had what, a dream?
A dream, and then in the dream he saw the chemical equation that would be the founder of all like modern warfare.
See that? See all these things that man made, the Most High put in man's mind
Wow,
to do
that's
it.
powerful. Yeah.
Most High put in man's mind, so it was all invented by the Lord.
Yeah.
All for the controversy of Zion, all because of us. All this shit that's happening around all this war, it's all because of us, you know.
Yeah.
So we're the apple of the Lord's eye. So everything is circulating around us.
We're the main characters.
Even though in the news, when you look at the news and what's really going on, it seems like we're the least of the problems of the world. We're like, if there's anything going on that's important, we're like the least of it.
Yeah.
But really, we're like the center of it.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like the world revolves around us.
Oh.
He said,
Coming up.
and I just wanted to mention this real quick that like what's his name, man? Oppenheimer, he said because he came up with the atomic bomb.
Yeah.
He said he's become the destroyer of worlds.
Yeah, Oppenheimer. Yeah, I've said that before.
Yeah.
Put that out before.
And like all the blood's been drained out of his face, he's just sitting there.
So even Esau's not even controlling himself. Most High he's putting it in Esau to be the way he is. Esau can't understand why he's the way he is, man. The way of man is not in himself. But it's the Lord that directed his steps, man. So even Esau, as proud as his ass is, the Most High made him to be that way, man.
Guess what? That's a big question. Who's going to start World War III? It's the Lord.
Yeah.
He's going to start it.
And that's why he said that he masters the horse of the battle, bro.
He's going to start it.
What you got, bro?
Yeah, this is Isaiah 54, starting at verse 16. Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals.
That's it. There you go.
Pertaining to Einstein's dream.
There you go.
In the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work, and I have created the waste that to destroy.
Stop read that again.
Isaiah 54 from verse 16 again. Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire.
Lord, the Most has created the smith or the blacksmith that works the coals in the fire. Come on. Because in ancient times, when you wanted to make weapons, where did you go to? You went to a blacksmith.
With forging.
And then they show you that in certain movies, man. Like in the last samurai, where before he went to battle, they got all them swords ready, the arrows. You had blacksmiths, and they had to had an anvil, they had to have a little furnace there. They had, and this, you get the little sword. You might cut it out, and you kind of mold it. You put it in the fire. Then you're able to ding. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Do all of that. That guy was called a blacksmith. You'd be in charge of making different types of weapons.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that was his occupation. So come on, I'll read that again.
Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work.
Bringing forth an instrument for his work. Come on.
And I have created the waster to destroy.
And I've created the waster to destroy. What is that? The ICBM. Right? And that's why certain Edomites came up, and they don't want to believe that it will escalate. Yeah. It will escalate into a world war. In their mind, it will die down. Yeah. Because in their minds, they know the consequences of what will happen if it does escalate. They know their world will end, man. And that's what Esau shook up, man. Yeah. You look at the people, man, they don't want to consider that.
Yeah. It's beyond
the truth is called being willingly ignorant.
Yeah. It's too much for them to deal with because they can't. Death scares them. Death on that scale.
Yeah, same thing with the lady when she came up.
Yeah, I don't want to be depressed.
But you know what? Because they don't have any hope. And their mind is, okay, when everything's destroyed, what's next?
This is all they got.
Yeah. This is all they have to hold on to, man. This is their hope. Yeah. This is their kingdom. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? This is all that they have. You know what I'm saying? They got too much to lose. Like the rich man, he didn't want to hear that, man. So he walked away miserable.
Yeah.
Because he had a lot of possessions. He didn't want to hear about giving it all up. Because why? He didn't have faith.
Yeah.
He didn't have what it took to turn his back and forsake a all.
I did this, I did that, I did this, I did that.
Like even in the movies, like the elder mentioned The Last Samurai, right? Sometimes when they would make the sword, it was personalized for a particular warrior. So they would etch their name on the sword. Well, the scriptures, the name of America or Babylon the Great is etched on the missiles, right? You know, it's for you. So like that woman came up, she was saying, "Oh, it's too depressing. You know, a lot of people are gonna die." Yeah, because the missiles have this world's name etched on it, right? To destroy it.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, you know, you see, that's showing you that we're the prophets, because we're doing exactly what the scriptures said in the prophets. That we spoke evil. You know?
That's why you can't blame them for hate.
Yeah.
You can't blame them.
And this is why not anybody can be a Christian. You can't come in this thing and then start doing this. You know what comes along with doing what we do?
Persecution.
Persecution and the hate of the world, man. The Lord is going to turn you into a man. He's going to drop the whole world at you, man, and see if you're still standing.
Yeah.
When the smoke clears, when the smoke clears, you see a man all ragged and tattered, man. He's still standing. You know, now you're worthy to stand before me, my son. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a part of the trial.
Yeah.
That's right.
Hey, there's a movie, one of them Moses movies in Exodus, right? And then they did a scene with his wife, and then she goes, "You lost him when he went to find his God, and I lost him when he found his God." And that's like funny, man.
Yeah.
You know, because you in the world, you was like that woman, man. We was all like that woman. You know, happy-go-lucky Christian church.
Yeah.
And then the Lord just turns on the button in your spirit, and then all the people that knew you, they lost you, man.
Yeah.
Like, who's the guy? You know, now you become that sadistic bastard to the world. But to the Lord, that's the man of the Lord.
But that's true beauty, man. To follow after the whole boss in our time. You know, and to forsake everything else. It's beautiful. But at the same time, that's masculine.
Masculine, man.
To the highest.
Yeah. Yes.
You got different levels of masculinity. This is the highest level.
Yeah, this is how to perfect yourself. You know, the Most High. You don't compromise yourself. A man of the Lord don't compromise. He doesn't compromise. Like Eliezer. They said, man, even something that was lawful.
Yeah.
Because he refused the swine. So they gave him something that was lawful. But he said, I ain't eating that shit evil. He didn't even compromise himself with something that was lawful. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he had to set an example.
That's right.
To the younger men, man. To die with honor. You know what I mean? But where's that? Because you said it to the waster to destroy it. This is
I've got something in here.
okay. You had it before me, innit?
If you want me to bring it now, I can.
Bring it up. You had it before.
Right, Tawada, this is just a quick one. It's because that woman was saying, I don't want to be depressed. Ecclesiastes 7 verse 5, it is better to hear the rebuke of the wise than for a man to hear the song of fools.
Yeah.
So it's better to take heed to this word now and get right, rather than just like, oh, I don't want to hear it's depressing. Keep listening to folly and then get destroyed, man.
So, because this is the house of mourning.
Yeah.
So in the house of mourning, because this world is about feasting. So to come up here is depression.
You know, depression saves your house.
Exactly. It's the house of misery. You know what I mean? The house of bitterness.
Okay, Isaiah 53, a man acquainted with grief.
That's how it's said.
Yeah.
Show the pressure, make a wise man.
Is there a scripture that says that weeping may endure for a moment, but joy cometh in the morning?
For a night.
Yeah.
And sometimes he tell you how a wise man scarcely smile.
Yeah, it's best to go to the house of mourning than to the house of feasting.
But little did the people know, yeah, that actually, so
Well, even when we smile, there's misery. There's a scripture on that. In laughter, mourning.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
And the end of end of mirth is heaviness.
Yeah.
this Ecclesiastes 7, verse 2. It is better to go into the house of mourning than to go to the house of feasting. For that is the end of all men, and the living will lay it to his heart. Sorrow is better than laughter.
Yes. That goes to what I was saying.
Yes.
I said depression.
You said
Depression
that.
will save you.
You said that.
You just read. You could be that again.
It's good to say, verse 3, sorrow is better than laughter. For by the sadness of the countenance, the heart is made better. So but that's showing how to improve yourself as an individual. Because the fact that what did I read? It said Salakio, it said, for by the sadness of the countenance, the mind is made better. Because you're realizing how much of a low piece of shit you are.
Real.
Right? You're actually doing self-examination, looking at yourself, man. You're saying, wow, man, how did that brother must think I'm a real piece of shit. How can I atone myself, man? Right? You start improving yourself, man. But you see, the people of the world is all about improving your external and getting money, upping your money, getting the car, getting this. It's all external. But you're still a piece of shit, though. When you come to the Lord, the Most High wants a contrite man, spirit, man. For you to feel remorse. Like in the world, man, people don't apologize, man, because they think that that's weakness and stuff. You know, when you deal with like women, you know, people in the world, they don't show remorse for their actions, man. But when you're in this truth, you become a living soul. You have a soul, so you have remorse. You have them tender vulnerableness about you. People become dead, man, inside, man. So they don't want to show that vulnerability. They don't want to apologize. They don't want to feel remorse. They don't want to say, brother, I'm sorry. I apologize, man. Because that means you're weak. The Most High wants to see that. He wants to see that childlikeness inside you, man. That's worth something. Because it's unique. The world is dark, man. The scripture said, none doeth good, no, not one. You know, that's true manliness, man. I remember I was watching God of War with Kratos, man, and his son. Yeah. Kratos told his son, close your heart to them. Don't feel for them, because they won't feel for you. And in the end, man, he told his son, open up your heart, man. Feel. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Be better. That's how you gotta be in this truth, man. Right?
2 Corinthians 13:4. For though he was crucified through weakness, yet he lived by the power of Yahweh. For we also are weak in him, but we shall live with him by the power of God towards you.
You see, even though weakness was strong, you might be weak, you know, but the scripture says we're gonna endure to the end. The 2/3 are not gonna fucking endure. But they got nothing to endure for. You know what I'm saying? What you think? What you endure for, man? You don't believe in the kingdom. You know what I mean? Everything that you live for is gone. You know?
That's why King Solomon said all is vanity, man. I'm just listening, like, you get pissed off because Jake in the world are just fucking superficial, man. They go to the gym, they get the big bodies, they're on their steroids, they drive a Range Rover, they have a couple of bitches here and there, but when that's all gone, the scripture says that they're gonna cry, man.
Yeah.
Their knees gonna be shaking, man.
Yeah.
You know, they're looking at you like you're pieces of shit. People in the world look at you like you're pieces of shit. As the elder said, we're weak, but we're the ones, Lord willing, that's gonna endure to the end, man.
Yeah.
When you got people fucking dying out here, all your superstars gonna be crying. And then the guys on the side of the street corners, they're gonna be the one okay and confident in that day, man.
Right.
Fuck this world, man.
And the thing of it is, Jake is something proud too, man.
Fucking
I
proud,
realized that. Basically, this someone who's gonna talk like very briefly. Like what I noticed about Jake is that they're just getting more proud as the days progress. You can see it, and it's like you're saying, yeah, it's like I always like to say, we don't even know the streets we walk on, right? When we pay taxes, we gotta pay the taxes. But these dudes just acting like they own, like they're on top of the world, but the world ain't on top of the world. Yeah.
That, you know, that shows about how insecure man is. He has to puff himself up. Like they say that Jake is very loud. Esau, he was dressed up like a bomb, but he's got millions in his bank account.
Yeah. Facts.
Yeah.
But Jake, man, he's got gold chain, but he's homeless. You know what I mean? So, I just want to bring this out. It says on 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 6, but godliness with contentment is great gain. For we brought nothing into this world, and it is certain we can carry nothing out. And having food and raiment, let us be therewith content.
Are you off it?
There you go. So it says, for we brought nothing into this world, and it's certain that we can carry nothing out.
Like what? Like Mark's brother. Stay strong. Beautiful.
So it says, we carry nothing into this world, and we're not going to carry nothing out. You know what I'm saying?
Even the bodies, we can't carry these bodies out. No way. No muscles with it.
Exactly. It's been all that time.
Yeah, you gym working out.
You know, what do the scriptures actually say that? What is it? Physical exercise property.
It says Zephaniah chapter 1, verse 17, and I will bring distress upon men. They shall walk like blind men, because they have sinned against Yahweh, and their blood shall be poured out as dust, and their flesh as the dung. Even their silver, nor their gold, shall be able to deliver them in the day of Yahweh's wrath. For the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy. For he shall make even a speedy riddance of all them that dwell in the land.
What I need to do, I need to just get the camera.
Of them that dwell in the land. So it also says that even the silver and the gold will be able to save you.
No, I get the like.
So it's all vanity.
Okay, so
that's all for the it says it's certain that you will carry nothing out. So when we actually do get delivered and being the chariot, you ain't gonna fucking have your chains and your max 90s on the spaceships, bro. You know what I mean?
We're gonna be arriving in there in new bodies. Like, you know, the Terminator comes in. When the Terminator appears, it's like all of light is on the floor like naked. And he just stands up. That's how we're gonna, you know, be in the chariots. We're carrying these red chip and pepper bodies in there.
I just about left my trunk.
Some dirty bucket garbage on the chariot and a bandana. You know what I mean? And someone never Jackson on the chariot. Right? You know, I'm telling you, before this nuclear structure comes, we're going into Egypt being that iron furnace, man. 2/3 of our people are going to be wiped out, as it says in Zechariah 13, verse 8. And it says, and it shall come to pass that in all the land, as we're reading again, that speedy riddance The Most High maketh speedy riddance for all them that dwell in the land, so forth and so on. It shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Lord, two parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein. And I'll bring the third part through the fire. Meshach and Abednego. Right? I will refine them as silver is refined. I will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people. And they shall say, the Lord is my God. It's my power. Yahweh is my power. Right? But you know, it says the third part shall be put through that fire. That fire is talking about what? Jacob's trouble, man. Right? The concentration camps. And that time's gonna come, man. Right? The detention centers, all day they haven't taken that crack scene, they're gonna come for you. They're gonna break, they're gonna come for you. They're gonna knock at your door. There's gonna be a warrant out for your arrest because you haven't complied. So they're gonna look at you like you're an enemy of the state, man. They're gonna arrest you, your family. They're gonna put you in a detention center until you comply. And if you don't comply, you will die. You know? But that's the trial. I just say,
you know, in the fire, we ourselves don't even know that we're chosen. So even when they're thinking what is to come, Jacob's trouble, we don't know enough. We don't know we're not guaranteed salvation. So that is even a fire within itself. You know what I mean? What is to come?
Yeah. You know? That's all. That's what says. Let not your man's trouble you trouble. And something about being doubtful. That's in Sirach, the 2nd chapter. Man. Words to them that are with double heart or something like that. That's a fire in itself. Like the plague of the mind. Like Satan troubling. Because Satan troubled Yahweh Shai. He's going through his fast, man. The 40 days or 40 nights.
That's why we're confident. That's why we're like, we focus more on trying to be saved, man.
Yes.
Scripture says, worry not of them that perish, but be concerned of them that shall be saved.
Right.
You know, because what you focus on is what you end up hitting, man. If you focus on like crash it hard, you don't stare into this, you're gonna stare into it. Man. Yeah, so like focus on the salvation.
Yeah.
You know?
Revelation 2 and 10. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Right. Behold, the devil shall cause some of you into prison, that ye may be what? Tried. That's I shall put the third part through the fire.
Tried it was gold is tried.
Yeah. And ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I'll give thee a crown of life. Right. There you go.
Yeah, but we believe this in the spirit. The flesh is always born in the spirit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
In the flesh now, you know, you have that sometimes that it hits you, the demons hit you with that doubt spirit. You know what I mean? Right? But the spirit is always willing. The spirit is always willing.
Yeah, great men of the Lord doubted at times.
Yeah.
You know, even what's his name? John the Baptist, when he was in prison, he sent his disciples to ask Yahweh Shai, are you the one?
Wow.
Even though he spent his whole ministry preaching that he is the one. Like the elder was saying, you get into prison, you start getting shaky, and he's the greatest spirit to ever come on the earth after Yahweh Shai.
Elijah,
right?
Even he.
Yeah, he got in the jail and then started asking questions.
But even Yahweh Shai, he was praying that he didn't want to go for it, man.
He had to go some other way.
Yeah.
He
don't want to go for it. And he all that depression, blood coming out of his own veins.
Yeah.
So he was going through that, man. Because remember, he's in the flesh. That's what the flesh does to you. Showing you that it's not really us, man. It's the flesh.
It's the flesh. Because you know what? Rocket for Yahweh Basha, we know the Lord's going to save us.
Right.
But the flesh just keeps on coming
nagging.
No.
Yeah.
We know Yahweh is going to deliver us. We know.
Right.
But it's that flesh.
See? That the spirit is willing.
Yes.
It's just the flesh that brings you to death. You know what I'm saying? It says Isaiah chapter 10 verse 5. O Assyrian, the rod of mine anger and the staff in their hand is my indignation. I will set him against a hypocritical nation, and against the people of my wrath will I give him a charge to take the spoil and to take the prey and to tread them down like the mire of the streets.
And I think that staff there represents judgment.
Yeah,
You know?
that's their gun.
Yes.
That's that weapon in their hand, right? We read that again. It says, "Oh, Assyrian, who's the modern day Assyrian? So the Edomites, so-called white man, right? Because what are they saying? They're saying that surrounding the United States of America, you got a lot of Russian warships, man. And also they're saying that a lot of the refugees coming from Ukraine, they're coming over, they're being put, Biden is allowing them to come over to America and get free access to education, free housing, free welfare, everything like that. But they're trying to say that a lot of the Ukrainians, they're actually fucking soldiers, man. They're actually fucking, they're actually troops to infiltrate America and help to put down the American citizens. Because think about it, the US military and the police department, they might not have it in them to actually put down their own people.
To be cold spirited like that.
To be cold spirited, to really wipe out their own people. And to see them as enemies, to literally shoot down their own people out there. So they might have to bring in foreigners, man, to actually to accomplish that task.
And they'll be mercenaries. Like
They're gonna be mercenaries because they're not Ukrainians. You got fucking Americans, man. And remember, a lot of them Ukrainians are fucking Nazis, man.
yeah, they hate Jake, yeah.
A lot of them are fucking Nazis. You know what I'm saying? So what better group of individuals to bring over to wipe out niggas?
Exactly.
Fucking Nazis, man. They hate Jake. A lot of you Ukrainians hate Jake. Remember when a lot of the Ukrainians were trying to get to Poland, and a lot of our people, they were children.
Yeah.
They pushed our people to the back of the queue to get on the trains, man. They said, "Oh, you niggas, man, get to the back." Remember how them the little clips, man. Oh, Jay's complaining that you can't get on the trains. Here's all you Ukrainians, you don't like Israel, man. You don't like Jacob.
It's funny, Ezra, right? One of those, I think one of those clips. I think one of the Western. I mean, one of these. This woman from Ghana. You know, there's a lot of them go over there to study. Like 80%. She gets to know when they talk about the instant trade. She goes, imagine now, I come to this country to study, and I thought that my classmate was so good at me. And the same classmate rejected her, turned against her. You see what I'm saying?
No honor among thieves.
No.
That's how Jake is simple, and they think everybody's their friend.
Their friend.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
They think if you we're all humans. If I can befriend them, it don't matter. The world don't work that way, man. It don't work that way. Let me read that again. It says, "Oh, Assyria, Isaiah 10 and 5, then we're gonna close out. The rod of mine anger and the staff in their hand is mine indignation." That staff is talking about what? The sword, man. The modern day sword that they have, which is what their guns. Okay? But that's their tool of judgment.
Yeah.
So it says, "I will send him against a hypocritical nation," which is who? You Jakes, man. We're that hypocritical nation. "And against the people of my wrath will I give him a charge to take the spoil and to take the prey." So a lot of you Jakes are going to get taken and put in concentration camps. All right? The death sentence, I believe the biggest concentration camp is over there, and I believe Canada or Alaska. It could contain like 1 million people.
Can I ask you a question?
Right?
Have you heard Sonic 3 in the movie?
They said to take the spoil and to take the prey and to tread them down like the mire of the streets. And that's the so-called black woman, man. And she's gonna get trodden down.
That's right.
The women of our people, the ones that don't believe in this. The scripture says that I shall behold her she shall be trodden down like the miles of streets. So when Esau really declares that martial law and really commands that, the militaries they go send against the United States citizens, come down with great wrath, man. Okay? You're gonna have a lot of our people that's gonna get killed, wiped out, man. That's when Esau's really gonna try to put his plans into effect. Because they got no place for our people in the new world setup. A lot of our people are gonna die in the continent of Africa. A lot of our people are gonna get wiped out there, man. Bro, I'm telling you that. I'm telling you.
What does the word prophet mean? And he's saying that right now, that's going to happen.
A lot of our people down there in Nigeria, Ghana, Congo are going to get wiped out, man. You see what's happening over there in Nigeria right now. The bullheaders breaking in civilians.
Yeah, I see them storming the banks. Yeah.
Yeah, they're storming the banks, setting them on fire, looting them, right? Busting down the gates.
Yeah, the black people calling for Jesus.
You know what I'm saying? Because what they're trying to say, that they don't have enough paper to print off any more narrow. That's the currency over here. The narrow. Yeah, so all the people they're getting tired of this old Nigerian system. They want a new system, man. That's what because now they got a new election taking place. And they want the new president of Nigeria to bring forth a new order, man, where all the people can live better. You know what I'm saying? But that's going to give leeway with Esau to bring in that whole thing, man.
Desperation.
Because the people are going to be willing to accept that new order. Right? That's what I'm saying. With enough desperation, enough hardship, enough tribulation, and hunger. Because the people, if you don't have any money, you can't get food. You can't pay for anything. You can't do shit, man. So they're going to be gagging for this whole order. If you put, that's what I'm saying, the people, they're pretty much guinea pigs, man. What's happening down there in Nigeria, that's pretty much like a blueprint for what's going to happen all around the world. See how Esau makes it? Yeah, see how Esau want to do it? But hell, man, when they really bring it here, right now, all our people should be here listening. They should be here listening, man. They really want to find they should be asked, how are we going to get out of this? Yahweh Shai, man. You got to learn how to put your faith. You got to learn how to put your faith in spiritual. For the longest while, you've been relying on carnality, right? Cars and jeeps and your career and your life objectives. You got to start trusting in things you don't see, man. Right? Without faith, it's impossible to please Him. And you have to believe that the Most High is a rewarder of them that diligently seek Him. You have to seek after Yahweh Shem Yahushua all your kindness. You understand? You got to make Him the love of your life. You have to cast it all up for Him, man. That widow at the treasury, man. She threw all that she had, man. You got to do it all for the kingdom, for the hope of your own people. You understand? You got to look into the historical records of your nation and see how Nehemiah, Ezra, they all wept and mourned for the lower state of their nation, man. And the scriptures say that the disciples and the apostles preached the gospel, the good news, man. That there is a kingdom for our nation. Jacob will be the beginning of it. That's what it is. That's our hope. And Yahweh Shai gonna come and give us that. The last piece of
the book of Revelations 2 verse 4. Nevertheless, I have somewhat against thee, because thou hast left thy first love. Remember therefore from whence thou art fallen, and repent, and do the first works, or else I will come unto you quickly, and will remove thy candlestick out of this place, except thou repent.
Yeah, it says remembering your first love. first love is how much you know share. Alright? You give it all up for him.
That's right.
You forsake the whole world for him.
That's right.
It should have said following the lamb. With the journey you go. Right? That's our journey. Okay? Because you left your first love. The Most High is somewhat against it. The Most High is somewhat against the 2/3 of his people. Because they've forgotten the whole from where they were digged out from. You forget yourselves. And that's why death must follow. And with that, Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh Shai, Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh Shai, Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh Shai, Barak Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Hashem, Rukah Kodash, Warm Yasharala, Warm Yasharala, Warm Yasharala, Warm Yasharala. The whole